welcome, welcome, welcome. So I got to tell you guys, I'm really excited to be able to share with you this exciting news. So today I found out that we were releasing the DLG 2.0 license, the DLG 2.0 license. So let's talk a little bit about that for a moment. And let's talk a little bit about some of the reasons why, first and foremost, because we've had some questions. Somebody said to me earlier today, number one, why do we need to release another license if we already have a gold license that is has already been released? Hang on one second. Let me make sure that we've got everybody muted here so we don't have any background noise because I'm getting some feedback. So I'm going to prevent everybody from unmuting themselves here for just a moment. And then at the end, we'll open it up for some questions. Terry Tillard is in the house tonight. Good to have you on, my friend. Good to have you on. So anyhow, somebody asked me, why do we need to introduce a new digitally linked gold license? So first and foremost, the DLG license that we introduced was one of our what we call deliverable projects. Our projects were broken up into two categories, deliverable and non-deliverable. So deliverable meaning that you have the opportunity, if you wanted to be able to cash in your tokens for the actual equivalent in gold. All of the gold that we had for the 1.0 license was held in a vault, and it backed the tokens that were in circulation. And there was never a token that was in circulation that wasn't supported by the actual physical bullion that was held into a vault. This particular project was designed to be a very conservative project. The concept or the idea is that if they're building a portfolio, that they would give people different risk variables so that people could build a well-balanced portfolio. With that being said, the non-deliverable licenses, also known as deflationary, as many of us inside of this ecosystem have come to know, presented more of a stronger upside potential. We call them non-deliverables because I can't send you, Boomy, a 55-gallon drum of oil. I just can't do it, no matter what I would like to do. I can't send you, Bob, I don't even know what natural gas would come in, but a container of natural gas. So the way that it works, as you guys know, is our deflationary mechanisms. And one of the key components that really separates us from everybody else out there in the industry is the fact that, number one, our projects are all backed by real world assets, right? The number's been thrown around that asset-backed crypto is the future, and that it is much as a $55 trillion industry, or projected to be worth $55 trillion. Why? Because people are tired of the speculation and the hype and the meme coins and all of the manipulation that's gone on in this industry. And so what the industry is really looking for is a little less volatility and a little bit more tangibility. And that's exactly what we've been able to introduce with the debt ecosystem. And so all of our projects, of course, are backed by real world assets. The revenue that comes in from our different debt partners, that revenue is taken and it is deposited into a trust, and that trust has one sole responsibility for each project. They buy up tokens that are currently in circulation and they send them to a burn wallet. And if you understand that concept of supply and demand economics, really all that's happening is that over time we are reducing a supply, and eventually you get to a point where you have more coins that are being burned, more tokens that are being burned than you do coins that are being produced. And when that happens, just basic supply and demand economics would suggest that the value of those tokens would go up, right? And so the deflationary projects have always presented a greater upside potential. And for that reason, we just didn't get a lot of interest and a lot of excitement on DLG. And those that did have a DLG just weren't real excited with the 42 cents or so that they were getting every single day in payouts. And so they decided to make a change. And what I love about debt is that they didn't just say, hey, we're changing this. They put it to a vote, both first with the debt council as well as the DLG owners had an opportunity to be able to vote on it as well. And they made the decision to move it to a deflationary project. And so today I'm excited to announce to all of you that, that we have just now introduced a DLG deflationary project. So it is our DLG 2.0. Now, for those of you that have a DLG license, no worries, because your license is automatically going to convert over to the new 2.0 licenses. The old balances will be converted to the new tokens, and you'll be able to see that in your back office. And as of, what was it? I guess about an hour and 9 minutes ago, Those of you that already have a DLG license are off and running. So how exciting is that? So you guys are now collecting tokens, and I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to make a prediction that, number one, I think that DLG will sell out faster than BEV sells out. Does anybody agree with me on this? I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are. BEV sold out in what, just under 2 months or so? I'm curious what you guys think. I'm making the prediction that gold will sell out faster than DLG. And I have been waiting for a license that's backed by gold that is deflationary. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why that I think that this is such a great, just a great timing for a license like this, number one. And number two, I'm going to go through the light papers tonight. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go through and I'm going to answer some questions that are on here this evening as well. So first of all, let's just talk a little bit about gold in general. And any time that there has been a down market, I'm going to use the R word, a recession. You know, none of the politicians want to say the word recession. We're not in a recession, right? It's just a down economy. Anytime that we're in a recession, people naturally look for places of stored value. And gold has always proven itself to be an excellent source of stored value as well as silver. And so a lot of people tend to start buying silver and gold for those reasons. And so if you look at what's happening in the world right now, I mean, we've talked about on a lot of our presentations, stock markets and more money coming out than coming in, and IRAs and 401ks are going down. And we've been talking about the devaluation of the dollar. You know, we've talked a lot about how you can't outsave inflation and the devaluation of the dollar right now, that it's very important to put your money to work. And that's the key to getting ahead. But man, now we've got a whole nother page to this chapter that we have to dig into, which is what is going on with the banking system. You know, I have to admit, well, I shouldn't say never. For a long time, I thought, you know, when you hear about people lining up at banks to go and get money, that would never happen here, right, in the United States. You know, I remember hearing about it happening in Greece, where people were going to the ATMs or going to the banks and they couldn't get their money. But then as I started to learn a little bit more about our banking system and learn a little bit more about the Federal Reserve and learn a little bit more about how, you know, we come to the conclusion or the decision to print money and our flexible approach to the dollar, I started realizing that our economy is largely built on a house of cards. And the economy, the strong economy that we've had over the last few years, has really been propped up by the amount of loans that have been given out, which if you think about it, these loans that are being given out, they're creating money out of thin air. And while it may appear and seem that things are really, really great, the reality is that at a certain point, when you just keep printing money and putting money into circulation, the house is going to come falling down. And our banking system right now is no longer required to hold these deposits in reserve. And that's a scary thing. You know, if we all went to the bank right now and decided to pull our money out, you would have another situation where there's a bank run. And it started off with the bank over in California, Silicon Valley Bank. And from there, you know, within a couple of days, we've seen a couple now of some of the most epic failures in the banking system since 2008, which is absolutely shameful. It's shameful because anybody that looks at what's really happening can see that it's coming. And not only that, but some of the decisions that were made, you know, there's, you know, you go back a little bit weeks before, and some of these executives were selling all of their shares and all of their stocks. And now it's trickled over. And on Monday and Tuesdays, they started putting out reports of other banks that are in trouble, that have lost 40, 50, 60%. And even today, now you've got banks like Swiss Bank that are down 20, 30% in stock. And so I firmly believe, and I hope that this isn't the case, but I firmly believe that we're just at the tip of the iceberg, and that we're going to continue to see more banks struggling and potentially even failing. Now, what does that mean for us? It means that overall, the consumer confidence, the confidence across the board in our banking system is faltering, and people are looking for other places of stored value. So that comes to what we're offering today. We could certainly go buy gold, and I do have a subscription where I have silver and gold that arrive every single month at my home. I believe that those are good places to be able to put money right now. I believe in having a diverse portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing you what my belief system is. I believe in having different asset classes, and such that even if one is not performing well, I'm in a totally different asset over here class that is doing well. And so while I like the idea of gold and silver, What we are offering with this new DLG 2.0 license is exactly what people are searching for right now. Because number one, we're offering that same type of stored value. And I know we say that and we throw that word around a little bit, but I want to make sure that people truly understand what we mean when we talk about this. Because, if you think about the traditional projects that we know in the cryptocurrency space, since they were first launched, let's just talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had a kind of this pattern, this cycle where, you see it go to new all-time highs. It's typically after the halving event. What's a halving event? Where they're removing half of those tokens out of circulation. And so, of course, you're reducing the supply. If you have a limited supply of something and you're reducing that supply, what essentially is happening to the people that are holding onto those tokens? So, the value has gone up. And so what we've seen is Bitcoin go to new all-time highs. Here's the problem. Once it hits a new all-time high, you start getting people that are selling. The market starts to shift. As people start selling, it starts to apply more downward pressure. And eventually we start to see the cryptocurrency industry crash and go into a crypto winter. And then we just kind of sit there and wait, and everybody waits and everybody waits. And a lot of people get impatient, right? It's a difficult thing, to wait 3 months, 6 months, and then a year and log into your back office. And along the way, people just jump off of the boat. They're just like, what? I'm tired of waiting. This isn't going anywhere. And they take their losses. But then what happens? We get to that next halving, and then all of a sudden we hit a new all-time high again. The problem is that we go years in between. And that crash that's happening where a lot of these coins are losing a lot of their value creates fear, and it creates uncertainty. And it actually, the banks feed on it, the banking system feeds on it, the media feeds on it, and it keeps the masses from coming into crypto. We've talked about how 4% of the world has a cryptocurrency wallet that's projected to grow to 10% over the next couple of years. So we've also talked about how the catalyst for that event happening is going to come from moving into a place of tangibility and substance, no longer relying on manipulation, speculation, and hype. And so what we are doing here by providing these projects that are backed by these assets, and more specifically, the royalties that come in from the sale of these different projects, the royalties that we receive, and then turning around and buying up those tokens or coins inside of an ecosystem and sending them to a burn wallet, what that does is it helps to reduce volatility. And that also helps to reduce, or it helps to substantiate the true value of these tokens, right? It helps to bring real world value to the table. So what we're offering is real world value. But here's the thing that, the gold and silver that I have sitting in a safe right now cannot offer me. I have the ability every day to go and cash in these tokens if I want to. It provides an option of cash flow. Now, it may be a minimal amount of cash flow if you have one license, or it could be a little more, or a little more, or a little more. But what it does present is the ability to be able to have cash flow that is coming in on a daily basis. And that third thing that it offers, why many of us are here, is that strong upside potential. Why? Well, because we are the first ecosystem in the entire world to do what we are doing. We are the first company in the world that is backing all of our projects with real world assets that can be documented and verified. There's plenty of documentation or validation that's out there. We continue to offer places of sources of validation. For example, BEV Day is coming up here. How many of you guys are going to BEV Day, by the way, where you'll get a chance to be able to go and see firsthand our new BEV license, one of the manufacturing facilities and the operations that are behind that particular license. So that's the reason why I think that this is so crucial, because everybody loves gold. Everybody loves gold, and they love the idea of being in the first mining license that's deflationary. So old license was not deflationary, no burns that were happening. New, we've got burns that are happening. So those licenses just went live today. Now let's go ahead and let's go through the light papers a little bit. I want to talk about this, then we can have a little conversation. Share my screen. So if you're just watching this on a replay, if you're watching this for the first time new, a great source for great information is to go over to thedebtbox.com. Notice that I put an emphasis on the. There are some scanning phishing sites that are out there that are trying to emulate this particular website. So make sure that you are at thedebtbox.com. And then I'm going to scroll down here and you can see some of our different projects that are currently available. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Learn More. And this is where you can look at all of the different light papers. I'm going to be clicking on digitally linked gold today. We're just going to scroll back and we're going to click on, I hit the wrong button. We're going to scroll back and we're going to click on the light papers. And we're just going to go through this together so we can chat a little bit about it. So first of all, who is debt? Let's talk a little bit about just debt. You know, their entire, let's call it utility or purpose. Debt is 15 years in the making. They are a revolutionary, decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology network. And that network is made up of autonomous software node operators who together create this blockchain ecosystem, this network that we're all a part of. And debt digital rewards are supported by real-world commodities through royalties from projects, which are used to purchase tokens out of the ecosystem through the blockchain to add stability, exactly what we've been talking about. And some of our projects include agriculture, bauxite, which is aluminum, crude oil, gold, real estate, royalty, cash flows, distribution channels, natural gas, just to name a few. And there are some projects that will continue to be announced throughout this year. Our debt ecosystem benefits from the token burns that occur from the purchase of tokens from project royalties that are received. And those royalties are generated from real world physical commodities or products and or services. So our strategy is to continue to launch. The ecosystem is becoming more robust. The key focus now is growth and user experience. Currently, there's multiple projects that are in the pipeline and new projects are being reviewed regularly. So our diverse collection of real-world commodity projects contribute to the roadmap for creating benefits that can be used by debt mining license holders. For example, one of those benefits could be, and this, you know, just dropping a little hint here, but you know, DLG could be a payment solution that allows you to be able to use your DLG tokens to be able to actually buy grams of gold and have that gold sent to you. So it could become a very simple and easy solution to be able to purchase tokens or gold, I should say, from refineries. That could be one example of a utility that could very easily be done within this ecosystem. So debt digital gold projects capitalize on the benefits of the Debt Explorer project. Many of you know that we have utilized satellite technology in space, and through that technology, we work closely with a team of precious metal mining industry professionals. And this includes people that are geologists. I've had a chance to listen to our head geologist when I was in Nebraska talking about the development of our technology. There's a video out there if you want to go and learn more about that. Mining engineers and mining site operators to analyze mining data and accurately create project feasibility reports. And the combination of advanced exploration analytics and industry knowledge provides improved estimates of recoverable gold production. So in short, what that means is we are helping people to become more efficient. We're helping people to be able to not only find the gold or whatever the commodity may be, but in this case, gold, but also to be able to extract that gold as well. And you know, helping to avoid some of the barriers that they might experience that could be costly. The project will contribute to the mining industry by supporting selected mining projects that offer the following benefits. So we improve with geological analytics, reduced exploration costs by helping them to pinpoint exactly where these different assets or commodities are, improved gold target value. So one of the things that we can do for our partners is when they are considering getting involved or mining a site, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll run an analysis to see if it's cost effective. And in some cases, they need to be able to show that there's gold there to be able to get the leverage or the financing perhaps that they need to be able to explore that project. So with us, we have the ability to be able to establish the value much earlier in the process. And that is of tremendous value to them, especially if they're going to be running a large operation. Improved realized extraction yield, again, helping them to be able to maximize the extraction process. And of course, ability to enter into offtake agreements as well. So becoming part of the debt community with the purchase of a mining license, a DLG mining license, and this allows you to take advantage of the gold commodity and crypto industries through growing debt ecosystem. And as a license holder, you can earn daily rewards in the form of a DLG token for your support of this overall ecosystem. And those rewards come in on a daily basis. Now, we can't guarantee you that those rewards are going to be worth a certain amount or anything. What we can guarantee you is that you will have more tokens tomorrow than you do today. There's a total of 100,000 licenses available for retail purchase. 100,000. It's not a lot, you guys. Again, we went through our BEV licenses. We launched mid-January BEV, and we're already sold out of those licenses. I think because this is gold, we are going to have, in fact, it's already started today. I mean, the amount of activity that's been coming in on these licenses is absolutely incredible. I kind of feel like we did when we opened up you guys remember when we opened up the debt licenses for a short period of time, and we opened up the rentals with black gold and we broke the system. Kind of feel like that today. So it's an exciting time, but 100,000 licenses available. There is 5 million micro licenses will be available. So this could be, I'm not saying it is, could be a strong indicator of maybe where they're going instead of rentals. Could be, right? Because rentals, they are only a 60-day period. It puts us into a conversation where people are always talking about the ROI. I didn't, in that 60-day period, I didn't make enough, it just puts us at risk. And this gives people the ability to be over on the perpetual ownership side. Even if it's just fractional ownership, it puts them into a position of more longer term perpetual mindset. And it also gives people that may not be able to afford to buy a license the ability to be able to do that. 150,000 licenses will be owned by the Treasury. The DLG project is the first debt ecosystem project to offer micro licenses. And again, an affordable way to get into the debt ecosystem. It provides 1% of the rewards generated by a retail perpetual mining license. And a micro license does not require the licensee holder to host the license and will operate perpetually, but it will not convert to an NFT at a later date. So if you own a micro license, these are not transferable. So something to consider. So retail licenses will be available at the following cost breakdown. The first 0 to 10,000 will be at $2,000 per license. And then as you see, as we start to go up, you'll see that incrementally going up in the price points as well, to the point where once we get to the 90,000 threshold, you'll start seeing it go up by $100 every time that a new 100 more licenses currently sell out. With the exception of micro licenses, all debt mining licenses, including the DLG mining license, must be hosted through one of the several available hosting options. As you guys know, licenses that are purchased right now through IX Global get 1 year of hosting. After that time, you do have to make sure that you have your hosting options that are set up. To learn more about our hosting, you can go to thedebtbox.com/hosting. And when your DLG mining license is active and connected to the internet, you will be rewarded with DLG tokens for supporting the debt ecosystem. Each mining cycle is a 24-hour period. It starts at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Rewards are generated today, are deposited to the DLG piggy bank wallet within 24 hours. One of the things about our projects is that all of these tokens are fully liquidable. You can cash them in every single day should you choose to do so. And you'll be able to withdraw these rewards to your debt wallet using the same dashboard. Rewards can then be stored. They can be exchanged for other tokens or used to make additional purchases on the debt platform. Once again, there's no guarantee that the rewards will have any monetary value. Obviously, it's subject to many factors, most of which are out of debt's control. So understanding the tokenomics, basically tokenomics is a fancy word for economics, and there's many different factors that determine how a cryptocurrency ultimately functions. The digital gold project tokenomics have been designed based on the economic theory of supply and demand. We've talked about that already. As a deflationary token, the number of tokens in the ecosystem will continue to decrease, thus potentially increasing the potential value over time. And with a set number of licenses and tokens set to come into existence, the DLG project tokenomics are supported by a few key areas. Number one, 100,000 retail mining licenses, 5 million micro licenses, and 150,000 treasury licenses. Number two, DLG mining licenses activation. 100,000 tokens are generated per license and added to the EGI pool, which provides a finite total of 30 billion DLG tokens. DLG project royalties will purchase tokens out of the ecosystem. And beginning April 1st, each quarter, and I'm so excited about this, I think one of the key reasons why the BEV license did so well is because before we had the royalties and the deflationary mechanisms that were happening every month, and then we had a halving event happening every year instead of every 4 years. Well, we've now gone to quarterly quarterings instead of halvings. And that is one of the second project now that we've introduced that they are removing a quarter of the tokens from circulation every 3 months. Again, remember, the entire purpose here is to stop this with this, and to try and bring a little bit more stability, a little less volatility to the table. And that's ultimately one of the key purposes of the overall ecosystem that we are building. The number of DLG tokens will be available to be digitally mined and placed into circulation by a limited number of mining licenses. This is not an initial coin offering. Very important to point out that there are, we have what's called a fair market launch. So there are no tokens that will be issued or in circulation that did not come from a licensed mining node holder. Every single token, including the owners, right? We're talking about licensees, affiliates, parents. It doesn't matter. We have a fair launch protocol, and the only way that licenses will go into circulation is through the mining nodes. And that's important because that way you know that there's not just licenses or money, essentially tokens that are being printed out of thin air. So the key milestones and things to focus on here, we've integrated the Explorer. We've integrated Explorer, enabling the use of our technology and the remote sensing technology to be able to support this project. It's partnered with gold mining operations that are here in the USA and in Africa, as well as West Africa. And there's a few other areas that we are currently in discussions with right now. We've partnered with a leading metal separation and refining company, and the project has partnered with a responsible sourcing and tracking supply chain company. As well, we have been listed on decentralized exchanges already. So that gives you kind of an idea of where we are right now, you guys, with this particular project. The Debt Council is responsible for managing the ecosystem and working with strategic partners to add value for all of our licenses and all of our holders. I'm not going to get into the rest of this tonight. The only thing I do want to touch base on for a moment here is I do want people to see that there are transaction fees. The DLG project token does have a 10% transaction fee, just as all of our projects do. And this fee essentially is tied to withdrawals or swaps or transfers or exchanges and purchases with any of our projects. And it's also called a tax in the crypto industry. And the reason, and there's a percentage of that essentially is sent to the burn wallet and used to remove DLG tokens from the ecosystem. So you've got a few different places that this deflationary mechanism is taking place. And some people say, gosh, everybody hates to pay that 10% fee until they really understand what it does. Because if you think about it, it actually keeps whales out from coming in and buying up 80-90% of our tokens and then crashing the tokens when it hits a new all-time high, because they don't want to pay that fee. Just the same, it keeps those snipers from picking apart a token by day trading on it, because they day trade on thinner margins. So those transaction fees actually protect the ecosystem. They add to the liquidity. They help with the overall tokenomics, which helps support the overall value of these tokens. And again, everything that these guys do is carefully created and crafted to be able to minimize that volatility, to help to create that stored value, again, with that upside potential. Again, quarterly burns that are currently happening. You've got your license activations. Once you purchase your license, typically takes within a couple of days to get your license showing in your back office. And if you want to go look up the smart contract address or EGI pool, debt council, piggy bank, payment wallets, one of the things that I love about this particular project is, in all of our projects, is the transparency. I love the transparency of the company. You can go look up your nodes on the blockchain. I love that they give us the ability to be able to look up the smart contracts, but it does not come without risk. And it is important that everyone understands that this is not an investment. This is the sale of software and our hardware. Our digital rewards are produced by each license, are not considered legal tender, and are not backed by any government. Thus, the rewards have very few regulatory protections and are not insured against theft or loss by agencies such as the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation or all of those fun 3-digit agencies. So this industry is new, and it comes with risk, including but not limited to exchange rates, willingness of others to exchange fiat currency for the digital rewards, and consequently could decrease in value over time. So I just have to throw that out there. I think that there's risk in anything that you do. I think the key is being educated and being diversified and making well-informed decisions. So that is the new digitally linked gold license. I'm very, very curious, first of all. Yes, they will be. The EGI pool, they will be put into in the same ratio as they would. They'll just be dividing that up as well, but they will be put into the EGI pool just as in a divided manner as well. Leon asked me, by the way, you guys can't see that question. He said, for the micro licenses, will 100,000 tokens be put into the EGI pool for each micro license also? All right, so what do you guys think? First of all, who is going to be picking up or already picked up a DLG license? I'm curious. I'd love to see that. Aaron Byerly is already in. Brandon Self, my DLG is already mining. Bob is buying one tomorrow. I'm sorry you guys can't see these messages. For whatever reason, IX Globals, this is their corporate account, and they've got it set where only I can see your chat. Tony Banuelos is mining and getting more. Sabrina is getting one. Heather just bought 2, just bought 10, hoping today. I'm running, I'm mining, I'm in. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so real quickly, if you guys have just a couple more minutes here, any questions that you guys have, let me know. I'm gonna go through here and I am going to actually just call on a few of my friends here to see if they would like to share their thoughts. I'm going to go over to Mr. Eric Garrison first and foremost. Eric, if you happen to be available, I know I'm calling on you with no notice like I always do, but I would love to get your take as somebody who is a huge node holder. Eric owns over 500 licenses with IX Global and is just an avid collector of licenses. So Eric, if you are around at all, do you mind sharing your thoughts on this new license?
Absolutely. I'm very excited about this one. This is something that I'm a big fan of gold. It's something that I've held for a lot of years, and to be able to have this ability to be able to go in on a ground floor on something like this and to be able to get into this, it's unheard of. It really is. It's unheard of, and has so much potential on the upside for me of what I look for. You know, I'm all about low risk, high reward. And it's kind of my mentality is, and I look at this being that this is a gold opportunity. I don't think you can get much better than that. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And so I'm very, very excited about it. I've been waiting for something like this to come along within this, because I know I've held some of the other DLG nodes already, and I'm just more excited about this because now how it's all put together with the whole entire ecosystem. I think this thing, and I'm like you, Travis, I think this is going to explode just because it's what it's all about, and it's going to sell it very, very quickly. So I couldn't be more excited about this. I really couldn't.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I appreciate your and value your thoughts and your opinion. I want to show everybody this. So this is actually a gold concession that we have in Ghana. And I want to show this particular concession because this is an actual concession that I have stood on and or that I've actually been to. So you can see in red, you guys are seeing my screen here. You can see in red, this is about 100,000 acre concession. And although sometimes we own the property or we'll own the concession just in the way that we just were awarded the new the first onshore offshore mining license in Ghana's history. We don't necessarily go and mine that ourselves, but what we'll do is we will partner up with somebody, a big boy that will come in and will allow them to mine. And of course, we'll receive a sizable royalty for allowing them to be able to come and mine on our land. In this case, what you're seeing here is all kinds of gold that is in the hills of these mountains. In fact, when we were walking along the pathway, you could literally see just kind of little speckles that would sparkle. And they said that there really wasn't an area that if you started to dig down that you wouldn't find gold. They said that, I mean, it's literally that abundant of gold in these particular areas. And so as you start to look at this, and this is one of our 3D scans, as you get a little bit closer and you start to kind of see the different areas, what's really, really neat is this is kind of an example of the value that we can provide to one of our partners, because you can imagine now seeing this from every possible angle gives them an idea of, number one, where they should start mining. Number two, how much gold is there. Number three, where do they want to extract, and what are the things that we could potentially run into that could cause problems for us. And so this particular concession is just one of the concessions that's in Ghana. We have also mines that are operating there, as well as here in Western United States as well. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what a concession would look like. And once again, we have royalties that are coming in to support the value of those overall projects as well. So let's see here. Who else? I want to go to my good friend out in Australia. It's morning out there. So Mr. Aaron Byerly's got to be wide-eyed and full of energy this morning. So we've been talking about DLG all day, Aaron. So let me make you a co-host for a second and see if he's available to come say hello. Aaron, talk to me, brother. What are your thoughts about this new DLG 2.0 license?
Hey, Trav. Yeah, I love it. I've actually been looking for something to get me like a subscription to physical gold bullion, to be honest with you. And there's a few out there that I've looked at, but a lot of them have, you know, a version of gold, I guess, a diluted version or a diluted version of silver. And I was more about, I want the real deal. I want the real thing. And they're hard to find. They're hard to find the good ones to trust, even over here in the Perth Gold Mint. And so I kind of saw this one as, you know, I'm in all the tokens for the long hold. So I'm looking at NATG 3-4 years. I'm looking at all the tokens 3-4 5 years. Yep. And then we'll see where we're at. With this one, I want to use it to cash in for gold. You know, that's what I'm going to use it for. So I'm super excited about it. I've been looking at it to buy anyway. But yeah, probably a little like everybody else. You get your priorities, you got your budget, and you look at the tokenomics. And like you said in the beginning, do you get excited by it sometimes? So I think these will sell out really quickly. I think people can, you know, vision cashing it in for gold. They'll enjoy the improved tokenomics of it. So I love what the debt box do. I love that they review. I love that they look at everything. I love that they put it out to the license holders to do a vote on. And, you know, they're open to change. They're open to mixing it up and just continuing to give us better and better options with licenses and variations across our stakeholding. So, no, definitely have grabbed one. Might just have to grab a couple of them. But, yeah, this is one that I've been waiting for and, you know, heard whispers about, have told my team about. So I'm glad the way that they've done it. And yeah, man, it's a really exciting one. I think they'll keep duplicating these across the line. So very excited, mate. Thanks for having me on.
I love it. I love it. We've got to go over to our first female global influencer. Boomy, I know that you and your team are pretty fired up about this. I've already seen some energy and excitement from you today. How you feeling about the new DLG 2.0?
Man, Travis, I'm so excited. I can't stand it. The team is fired up. They're talking about it in the chat right now. Like everybody, I'm looking, so many team members are on here with their guests. And this reminded me of something that Cedric Harris said the other night. He was like, why would people have 100% of man's money and 0% of God's money? And so gold is God's money. So now we get to have this part of this connection to God's money. All that gold concession is God's money. So I'm just fired up and excited. And it just means a lot of great things for everybody in this ecosystem. I got to give a plug to my crypto women, #wealthy women. Let's get it, guys, and build those portfolios. Thanks, Travis.
I love it. And that is good. I'm getting a lot of feedback on that quote. Boomy, that's fantastic. Cedric Harris, that's a great quote out there, brother. Let's go over to, I want to hear from our director of marketing, Ozzy, who is behind the scenes a little bit. He's kind of watched this whole thing come together. You know, I know that the micro licenses are not yet available, but what's the internal buzz like, you know, at corporate, and how you feeling about this license, brother? And he may not.
I'm here tuning in, multitasking, but no, I'm excited about this, you know, digital link gold 2.0. You know, I think the tokenomics is great. And I mean, internally, we're just excited. I mean, you know, there's just so many great things that are happening within the company, and so many announcements that we're going to be sharing I would say the next 2 weeks. So, you know, along with this, you know, great new license. So, I mean, it's a great time to be part of IX for those, who are already in, and for those who are on the cusp of joining this, mega opportunity, guys, don't think twice, because Travis is not kidding. These things sell out real quickly, and I foresee the digital gold selling out very, very fast. So we're excited here, and thank you for this great call, Travis.
Appreciate you and all that you do. Mr. Shane Shields, my Facebook buddy, we chat all the time back and forth. I know you're a big node holder and you're a big node advocate, and you've got a lot of people that you've introduced the nodes to, bro. How you feeling about DLG 2.0?
I don't even know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, man. I know I'm just putting people on the spot, but I saw your name and put a smile on my face. I thought, man, I gotta bring Shane on here.
Yeah, I was just waiting to make sure I sent a few guinea pigs in to buy them first to make sure they went through okay. And they did.
We're good. We're good.
You know what I'm talking about. So now, yeah, now that they've gone through, then I'll grab a couple for sure. But yeah, definitely excited. I actually wanted the DLG from day one, but it was just the way it was set up. It didn't really sort of entice me to grab one. But I think now people are going to jump on them pretty fast. I know that in my Discord, I've just put a message out there, and I'm pretty sure that those sales will be coming through pretty damn fast soon, because the first 10,000 they're at a cheaper rate, so you want to be jumping in before we hit that 10,000 mark, because they're what, 2K, I think. So
2K right now for the first 10,000, and then you'll see a price increase. And sounds like a lot of licenses, but we've gone through 10,000 licenses pretty quickly before. We've done it in under a week before. So
well, I mean, BEV just went ballistic in the beginning, didn't it? So
yeah,
I mean, this probably will too. And with that quarterling, I think that's going to help push it, over the top as well. So, and look, it doesn't matter. Look, I had people in the Discord say that they bought the DLG and then they realized how much it was making. They were a bit disappointed. But here's the thing. They went and bought the damn thing without even looking at it, because it was gold. Yeah, people can't help themselves. It's gold. They have to have it. It doesn't matter. You go through all the centuries of time. Gold is always there. People want gold. They have to have it. So yeah, it's a good thing. Yep.
Good to hear from you, my man. Good to hear from you all the way from down under. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I appreciate it.
I'm in California, mate. I'm in California.
Oh, California. Oh, you are.
I'm just around the corner.
I always hear your accent.
Come and hassle you.
You know what? I always think because your accent that you're in Australia. Also because of the time of day, sometimes you text me or I get your Facebook messages.
No, I'm New Zealand. I'm from New Zealand, but yeah, I'm living in California since 2012. So
love it. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Mr. Terry Tillard, brother. I know that you have been just on fire. Your group has been super excited about these licenses. I know that you've got a big crypto following and group, and I'm curious as to how excited you are to be able to go share this with your community.
Yeah, 100%, Travis. I think this is just amazing. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, we live in times of maximum uncertainty. And when that happens, the world always flocks to gold and silver, like to precious metals. So I think that the timing is so opportune. I like that you talked about the banks earlier, because I think there's a lot more chaos on the way, and they might all go to zero. Who knows? We'll see how bad that can turn in. But we're super excited about the licenses, super excited about DLG, snapping it up right away. And we already messaging people, telling them they got to hurry up and jump on it. People were complaining the other day. They didn't like that how much the BEV price had gone up from when it had first launched. Like, guys, that's why you got to move quick. So we're moving quick, and we're excited about it. So thank you so much for jumping on tonight and sharing all these details with us. We're pumped about it for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you very much, Terry, and all that you do. Congratulations on your success. We're going to wrap it up tonight with Mr. Tony Banuelos. Tony, I know that you have been just on fire and excited about this new DLG 2.0. I've seen a lot of excitement from you today already, and I want to hear how excited you are to bring this to your community.
Thank you. Absolutely, brother. I mean, I'm actually almost about to celebrate 1 year anniversary with the BLOX projects, first of all, in May. So I'm excited about it. I bought one DLG license when it first came out. So I'm excited about this for 2 reasons. 2 days ago, thanks to Ms. Boomy over here, I finally bought some actual silver. So to me, this is like music to my ears to now be able to, be part of this new gold project with the BLOX, to where actually I could own physical gold, but I'm on it, honestly, in here for the upside potential for the long term. So I'm super excited. Like, what better times than gold in the world we're living in today, both digitally and physically. So I'm excited about this one for sure.
Outstanding. Well, you guys have heard it. You've heard the excitement. We've gone through the tokenomics. We've talked a little bit about the demand. We've talked about what's happening in the world today. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself a few key questions, right? Number one, you have to ask yourself, do you believe that first and foremost, cryptocurrency as a whole, as an industry, is going to continue to become more and more popular, more and more prevalent? And I think that at least the people that are on this presentation tonight, those of you that are watching over in the debt group, would probably say yes, right? Digital currency is not going away. So then that begs the second question: are people going to be more inclined to go buy, meme coins and the same pump and dumps and coins that are being manipulated in these ICOs that are out there? Or do you think that people are going to be more inclined to start looking for tangibility and substance and commodity-backed cryptocurrency that helps to reduce volatility in the marketplace? And for me, I think that answer is pretty obvious, which then leads us to the last question. Do you believe that a ecosystem like this, something like debt and what they are doing here, is of value to the cryptocurrency industry as a whole? And if you believe that it's of value as a whole, then you understand the utility that we bring to this industry. And in my opinion, I believe that we are raising the bar on the industry as a whole. And we're saying enough of the manipulation and the hype. Let's start introducing projects with real world value. And to me, holding on to those tokens, especially over the next couple of years, as we continue to allow those tokenomics to kick in, for those coins to get burned, is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity. So with that, I'm excited. I'm actually going to go pick up some of my gold licenses tonight. I think we're going to pick up 10 of them because I am really excited about this project. And I got to beat Eric Garrison because he'll probably be buying a bunch of them here soon too. So I got to make sure I get mine. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in. As soon as this is rendered and done, I'm actually going to load it so that it's available to share. And I'm sure that Ozzy will be on it faster than I am, because he and I always try to race to get the videos downloaded. And so he'll be on it and sending it out to the entire company and making it a resource in the app and the back office as well. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything that you do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys again soon.